Alrighty, so this afternoon we're going to be reading a story called Tar Beach. But before I begin, um, my expectations for how we are supposed to be on the carpet. So first, show me good sitting, good looking, good listening, and my favorite, good thinking. So our story, Tar Beach, is written and illustrated by Faith Ringo. Now remember, we've been talking about different text features, the title, and the author, but this book is special. This book was written and illustrated by this lady, Faith Ringo. So who can tell me what does that mean? If someone is the author and the illustrator. That's right. If they are the author, that tells us that they wrote the story. And if they're the illustrator, they are the person who drew or draws the picture. Now, just by looking at the cover of this book, what do you think this story will be about? Okay, I can see why you would say that. When I look at the cover of this book makes me think that, first of all, there are a ton of colors. Did anyone notice the different patterns that were around the edges? So this kind of reminded me of like a quilt. Next, the cover kind of gives me clues as to when the story is taking place. Looks like it's happening at night. Why do you think I would think that? What clues on this front cover would tell me that this story is taking place at night? Right. It's dark out. You see the lights. You see the stars. Would you be able to see that during the day? No. Also, I noticed a little girl, looks like maybe her brother, they're laying down. And there's some people at the table enjoying a nice dinner or feast. And it looks like they're like on top of a building. Doesn't look like they're inside of a home, does it? How can I tell? How do you know they're outside and not inside? Right, because you can see all the buildings around them. Yep, so it kind of looks like they're outside um, having a meal. I'm not sure if these are family members or friends, but I'm sure that as we read this story, we'll learn more about what's happening. Also, in class, we've been talking about story structure, which has to deal with the characters, who the story is about. We've been talking about plot, what's our problem, and how our characters can solve it. We've been talking about setting, where does the story take place? Okay, so all of these things have to do with story structure. So as we are reading our story, I want you to be thinking about those things because at the end I'm going to be asking you some of those questions. Who are the characters? Where is the story taking place? Or is there more than one place? What time of day? Things like that. And what is the problem? And how can that problem be solved? Okay? Tar Beach. I will always remember when the stars fell down around me and lifted me up above the George Washington Bridge. I could see our tiny rooftop with Mommy and Daddy and Mr. and Mrs. Honey, our next door neighbors, still playing cards as if nothing was going on. And BB, my baby brother, lying real still on the mattress, just like I told him to, his eyes like huge floodlights tracking me through the sky. So, who are the characters that we have been introduced to? Right off the bat, they introduce us to some characters. Who are they? That's right. They tell us about Mommy and Daddy, Mr. and Mrs. Honey, which are, who are they? They're the what? They're next door neighbors. And BB, which is her little what? Brother. That's right. And where are they right now? That's right. They're on the rooftop. Sleeping on Tar Beach was magical. Lying on the roof in the night with stars and skyscraper buildings all around me made me feel rich, like I owned all that I could see. The bridge was my most prized possession. So I've noticed that she's mentioned this bridge quite a few times. Who remembers the name of it? Okay, I see that some of you guys are having some trouble being able to recall or remember what the name of the bridge was. So, what can we do to help us find this information? That's right, we could go back in our story. And if I remember correctly, she tells us the name back on the first page of our book. The George Washington Bridge. So why do you think she keeps bringing this bridge up? That's right. That's kind of how I feel. When someone keeps telling you something, it makes me think that it's something important. There's a reason why they want you to know about this. So there's probably a reason why she keeps telling us about this bridge. So let's see if we can find out. Daddy said that the George Washington Bridge is the longest and most beautiful bridge in the whole world, and that it opened in 1931, on the very day I was born. Daddy worked on that bridge, hoisting cables. Since then, I've wanted that bridge to be mine. So why was that bridge so special? Why was that bridge so important to her? That's right, because they opened that bridge on the same day that she was born. Why else? That's right. She tells us that her dad worked on that bridge. Now I have claimed it. All I had to do was fly over it for it to be mine forever. I can wear it like a giant diamond necklace, or just fly above it and marvel at its sparkling beauty, which marvel is just a big fancy word for like observe. I can fly, yes, fly. Me, Cassie Louise Lightfoot, only 8 years old and in the third grade, and I can fly. That means I am free to go wherever I want for the rest of my life. So she's not walking like the rest of us. What is she doing? That's right, she's flying. Daddy took me to see the new Union building he is working on. He can walk on steel girders high up in the sky and not fall. They call him the cat. So what kind of job does her dad do? What does he do for a living? What do they tell us? That's right. And I like how you use the pictures as your clue. Okay, you notice that he's wearing a hard hat. And on one of the pictures, it says construction company. So they gave us clues as to what he does, which we know he works in construction. He works on tall buildings, and like what was a special thing that was made on her birthday was the George Washington Bridge. So why do you think they call him the cat? Why do they call him the cat? I'm going to go back and reread this page. He can walk on steel girders high up in the sky and not fall. They call him the cat. What do you think? That's right. So when I first read that, first of all, I visualized a cat in my mind. And I thought about how cats move. Cats are very not sneaky, but they move so smooth. So if you think about a tall building, there's all these little steel frames going across, right? He can't take an elevator up and down, right? He has to move from beam to beam. So to do that, you have to be very careful. And cats, they can move so smoothly. Remember, they're majestic and they can just go from place to place. And sometimes you don't even know when they're moving. So he has to be very careful with how he moves so that he doesn't fall. So I think that's why they compare him to a cat. But still, he can't join the union because Grandpa wasn't a member. Well, Daddy is going to own that building because I'm going to fly over it and give it to him. Then it won't matter that he's not in their old union or whether he's colored or a half-breed Indian like they say. So Cassie introduces us to a problem. What is the problem on this page? That's right. Cassie's father, they're not gonna let him be a part of a union. A union. Why? Why did they say he can't be a part of it? Okay, right. One of the reasons was because his dad or Cassie's grandfather was not a part of the union. Why else? That's right. Because of his race or his color. So we've been talking about two different civil rights leaders and the different things that they have fought for. Who can remember someone else that we have talked about that was denied or was not allowed to do something because of their race or their color? Right. We just had Women's History Month. I like how you remember we talked about Rosa Parks and how she was not allowed to sit on that certain space in the on the bus because of her race and her color. Because of what she looked like, they told her that she couldn't sit there anymore. So think about how Cassie's father probably felt. How would you feel if they told you that you couldn't do something just because of your skin color? Is that fair? No. So what did Cassie say she's going to do? What did she say she's going to do? That's right. She said she's going to fly over that building and give it to him, no matter what they say. He'll be rich and won't have to stand on 24-story high girders and look down. He can look at his building going up. And mommy won't cry all winter when he goes to look for work and doesn't come home. And mommy can laugh and sleep late like Mrs. Honey. And we can have ice cream every night for dessert. Next, I'm going to fly over the ice cream factory just to make sure we do. So I noticed while we were reading that Cassie isn't always flying, is she? No, sometimes she's in the house. The other time we saw a picture, she was walking with her dad. So, what causes her to fly? Or what makes her fly? Yeah, I kind of thought that too. It seems like whenever she feels like someone is not treated fairly, like her dad, for example, she decides that she's gonna fly over that building and give it to him. Or if it's something that she wants, right? Like she was mentioning that she wants to make sure that they have what every night for dessert. Right, that's right. She wants to make sure that they have ice cream every night. So what does she decide to do? She's just gonna walk to the grocery store every time they want ice cream? No, she says that she's gonna fly over it. So that way, if she flies over it, what does that mean? I mean, it belongs to her. Tonight we're going up to Tar Beach. Mommy is roasting peanuts and frying chicken, and Daddy will bring home a watermelon. Mr. and Mrs. Honey will bring the beer and their old green card table. And then the stars will fall around me, and I will fly to the Union Building. I'll take BB with me. He has threatened to tell Mommy and Daddy if I leave him behind. I have told him it's very easy. Anyone can fly. All you need is somewhere to go that you can't get to any other way. The next thing you know, you're flying among the stars. And this is a picture of the author and illustrator, Faith Ringgold. So now that we finished the book, I'm going to ask you guys some questions. There's going to be some opportunities for you guys to talk to your partner, just to get you guys thinking and to help you better understand what happened in the book. Because we're going to have an activity that we're going to do that's going to relate to what we just read. So the first question I want to ask you, our title, Tar Beach. They've mentioned that word quite a bit in our story. What do they mean when they say Tar Beach? What is that? So I want you to take a minute, turn to your shoulder partner, and I want you to answer that question. What do you think Tar Beach is? And what do they mean when they say it? All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and what? Zip. Okay, so I heard some great discussion. What are some things that you guys talked about? What does Tar Beach mean? What is that? Right. When I first read this, looking at the title, I didn't know what Tar Beach meant. I thought they were talking about a beach, right? When you think of beach, you think of sand, sun, tar. Some of you may not know what that word means, but tar is like black, dark. Um, we have our blacktop outside, okay? That has tar. Tar Beach. They were talking about the black rooftop on top of her apartment. What does flying symbolize? Which symbolizes just a word for what does it stand for? What does it represent for Cassie? Remember we talked about how she flies. She doesn't fly all the time. But the times that she does fly, what does that mean? What does flying symbolize for her? Right. When I think of flying, I want you guys to close your eyes. And I want you to visualize yourself being a bird. Right? You're a bird right now. And you want to go. Somebody tell me a place that you want to go. Okay, you want to go to, keep your eyes closed, you want to go to Disney World. Okay? You're a bird. All you have to do is what? That's right, flap your wings and go. So open your eyes now. I kind of think of flying as a way of freedom. Did anybody else feel like that? That's right, freedom. You guys can go wherever you want to go, no matter the day, the time, the hour. Also, when you're flying, where are you? That's right, you're high above everybody else. You're looking down on the places and people. You are above everybody, and everything else is below you. So I think it kind of gives her a sense of freedom. Do you think that Cassie's adventures are real? Or do you think that they're imaginary? She's pretending that these things are happening. Excuse me. I agree with that. I think that some of her adventures are real. So when she talked about the dinner that she's having with her mom and dad and BB and who else? Mr. and Mrs. Honey, I think that's real. What else? Let's go back. Ooh, I was just looking for that page. Yes. Okay, so just like when she was talking about how her dad took her to the Union Building, I think that's real. Who can give me an example of an adventure that may have been imaginary? Yes, I agree with that. When she was talking about flying over the George Washington Bridge, right? She's not really flying, is she? No. But in her imagination, she's flying over the bridge. She even said that she would wear it as her what? As her necklace. Now, would she be able to wear that big old bridge as her necklace in real life? No. But in her world, because remember, she's imagining this is happening, she can do anything that she wants to do. So she decided to fly over that bridge. Give me one more example of an adventure that was imaginary. when she said that she was going to fly over the ice cream factory because she wanted to make sure that she had ice cream every night, right? Wouldn't that be cool? But did she really do that? No. But I liked how at the end she mentioned that anybody can fly. All you have to do is what? Let's go back and read this page. I told him, who is she referring to when she says him? BB. It's very easy. Anyone can fly. All you need is somewhere to go that you can't get to any other way. The next thing you know, you're flying among